Not the best pre-season friendly you've ever seen, which is absolutely fine. I did say in yesterday's video, you're not going to learn an awful lot from it. What we're going to do is hopefully get some little snippets, some little insights into what Lopetegui's team or tactics will have to offer going forward. If I'm honest, we didn't even really get that. It was fine. I think what we saw was a West Ham team in their first game of pre-season against a much fitter team who weren't in their first game of pre-season, in really, really hot conditions, sweltering heat. You knew that. Well, if you watched the stream, it was on West Ham's YouTube channel, and the person who was doing the commentating at the start of it mentioned that everybody was staying at the front row of seats, which were in the sun. That's a telltale sign. That really is, and that part of the world, Kitzbühel in Austria, is not unfamiliar to me. That's a sweltering heat there, I've got to say, over 30 degrees there. So it can't have been easy to play football, and particularly when we were so clearly unfit. I don't care that we were unfit. That this whole part of the training process is to get us into shape, really. There wasn't a lot to learn. There wasn't really an awful lot to admire, truth be known. I would expect to see more when we're sort of getting, by the time we get over to the United States, it would be more important that we have some sort of cohesive pattern of play. I think there were some things that were nice to see. It was nice to see Freddie Potts, Lewis Orford in central midfield. One of them was 61, one of them was 62. They're about the same height, pretty much the same haircut. I was sort of squinting at the telly, trying to work out what's going on. Like when you put it on your phone, but then you project. I can't remember. There's a word for it, isn't it? There's whatever. I cast it. There you go. I cast it to me telly. My telly is too big. I got it on offer, and everyone that comes around says your telly's too big for you. My telly's the size of my lounge, basically. Anyway, that didn't sort of help. The big telly didn't help because here's how it went. I almost fell asleep during the game. It was a pretty boring game, again, which is fine. So what happened was I collected my daughter from school, and then I sort of almost had to watch it. So I was sort of 25 minutes behind. And then to keep her quiet, I had to buy her some sweets. I was feeling so sleepy, I actually, in the end, I nicked some of her. I'm not sponsored by it. These ain't bad, actually. Haribo tropical slices. The watermelon slice is particularly nice, as to be said. So I was saying, give me some of that, give me some sugar to keep me going. It was a little bit boring. We missed the first goal, didn't we? Because it cut out. The frame froze on a drinks break. Maybe they were having a bit of Haribo as well. And then by the time the sort of stream got running again, it was 1-0 down. Ferencváros had 1-0 up. It was tall at the end of it. The great irony, of course, was that Danny Ings and Nayef Aguerd scored the 2 goals, and they're the 2 players that are off. I won't read anything into it. I do think the composition of the team changes drastically with the inclusion of Jared Bowen, of Lucas Paquetá, and of Edson Alvarez. You just look at, and then with everybody else being fit, I'd love to sit here and tell you, what I thought of Luis Guilherme. But I was eating sweets at the time, wasn't paying too much attention. No, look, he had a couple of neat little touches. Some players were fitter than others. Konstantinos Mavropanos may have a wonderful, wonderful name, but he didn't look particularly fit, so I think he's going to take a little while longer to get going. What I did notice was when a game is being played at walking pace, which it pretty much was, Kurt Zouma, there's no problem. There's no problem with Kurt Zouma at walking pace. I'll tell you what, he looks absolutely fine. He really does. We've got maybe a little issue to sort out at right back. Gideon Kadua started there in the first half. In the absence of Vladimir Soufal. Because Vladimir Soufal's been given a little bit more time off because he featured in the Euros for the Czech Republic. Played really well, actually, didn't he, in that tournament? So, I think we're going to need to do a little something there. No, again, no slight on Kadua. It's not his position. Not at all. Not even remotely close. So, and it was evident, really. It was evident down there that not just in terms of his his tackling or anything. Actually, I thought his physicality was really, really good, by the way. But it's just, you could tell positionally he wasn't used to playing it. And even in the positions where he would have to try and pass the ball and give the ball to Mohamed Kudus, he just wasn't used to the angles of just everything that he's supposed to be doing in that position. But that was fine. He was asked to fill in. Well, let's speak about Kudus while we're on the subject. You could just tell he was 2 or 3 weeks behind in his preparation. He looks like someone has just come back off holiday from Ghana. I don't know. In fact, what am I talking about? If I went on holiday to Ghana, I'll be coming back in worse shape than Mohamed Kudus had come back in. But you could see the skill was there. The dribbles were there. He wasn't sharp. None of them were sharp. It's fine. It doesn't matter at all. I think because of that, we weren't really able to get any insight into any pattern of play. I think the lack of a number 9, which we know we need, that's going to make a hell of a difference to the team. An actual proper striker. And, so we were shoehorning people in there. It was sort of Maxwell Cornet was playing in there in the first half. I think James Ward-Prowse was sort of trying to get close to him. I don't like James Ward-Prowse playing in that position. It's just... yeah, he presses well and all the rest of it, but he's not got the technical ability to play there. I think in terms of that sort of number 10 or the creative hub or whatever it was, actually the shape of the team changed slightly in the second half anyway, but you could tell that George Murphy was sort of more comfortable playing there, and I do feel that, we're going to be looking to get some more creativity into the team. I'm sure we will. We've even already got players at the club who I've already mentioned who, once they come back into the team, they'll sort that sort of thing out. But midfield's interesting, isn't it? Particularly given the Flynn Downs situation now. So I was pleased to see Potts, who I think probably played more minutes than anybody else. So that was really good. It was nice to see Orford. A couple of nice long-range passes from him as well. There were a few... people were off target with their long-range passing, Aguerd, Mavropanos. So there were a few who tried it. And you could just see that the crosshairs were out. The radar was not quite dialed in. So, fine. Absolutely fine. Just trying to think if there was anything else that sort of missed out in the game, really. I don't think so. Not so much. We saw Wes Fodringham, which was nice. Always nice to see Wes. Kept a clean sheet. Old clean sheet Wes. Clean sheet Wesley there. What more do you want? That was really good. Emerson, again, just looked like I'd been on holiday, really, didn't he? So it's fine. Well, what a beautiful setting, by the way. It's absolutely stunning. And I found myself during a lot of the game either eating my daughter's sweets. It probably looks like I haven't eaten many sweets. This ain't the only packet. Let me tell you that now. I found myself either falling asleep, eating sweets, or looking at the lovely mountains in the backdrop for the majority of the game. It was good. It was good. Clearly, there was a bit more of a higher press up the pitch, but that in itself is going to be hard to do when you're not fit. So I don't know if you've seen them in training. All the players, they keep on trying to run away, but they keep taping them. Like they've got these big elastic bands around them, so they. Like if there's a fence or something, they put this massive elastic band around the fence, and they put this elastic band around the player, and they ask the player to run away from the fence. Like, boing. It's a bit like an Acme. It is a bit like a cartoon. It's a bit like a Warner Brothers cartoon, actually. They don't come bouncing back as ferociously as I would like. Not quite as animated as I like. So look, they're doing their stretches. They're getting their fitness up. They're doing their running. I'm hoping these guys are going to be super fit. By the start of it, they're clearly trying to play the ball to feet, which I think is a good thing. Not reading too much into it. Don't worry. There's no reading. I don't think we're going to be crap or brilliant because of what I've seen and the foothills of Austria. Far from it. But really interesting start. I do wonder it's going to be different for Dagenham and Redbridge, isn't it? Perhaps a little bit more faster paced. Is he going to be able to make such wholesale changes? I don't know. I'm not even entirely sure when some of the guys are coming back. But yeah, look, decent start. Not quite as thrilling as I wanted. I can't pretend otherwise. I was hoping to see a little bit more of Luis Guilherme, but it's different for him, What a culture shock. He's gone from Brazil to East London. And then he spent a bit of time training there. And then he's gone into basically Austria. Whereas apparently when they first got there, it was really cold. And then during that game, it was 30 degrees. He's thinking, hold on, I'm used to a bit of this. He's the very meaning of culture shock is happening right now to the 18-year-old Luis Guilherme, who's being pulled from pillar to post and going all over the world and seeing all these different climates and cultures and everything. So I look forward to seeing a little bit more from him. Just in case you didn't see the game, he played predominantly off the left with Cresswell behind him in the first half. But you can go and check this stuff out online. Not much to see here, let's put it that way. But overall, when I wasn't dozing off, when I wasn't stuffing me gob with sweets, when I wasn't looking at the mountains and I'm wondering what it must be like to live there, I did quite enjoy what I saw, but it was a bit of a boring game. It was, let's be fair, it was a bit of a boring game. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll catch up with you tomorrow.